Uber as a side hustle is one of the most lucrative options available to people wanting to explore the gig economy in 2024. But if I told you that Uber was perfect, you would probably assume I was some Uber plant trying to sell you experiences that don't exist. Oh wait, some of you believe that anyways. But today, let's make the criticisms clear and list out 5 things I hate about driving for Uber in 2024. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name's Keen if you're brand new, pronounced Key in. And hey, you guys remember last video when I mentioned redesigning the studio and moving things around? What did I say again? And take a look at the new studio. Yeah, about that. Guys, it has been an absolute minute since I have posted a YouTube video to this channel. I'm so sorry. This was not intentional. I had another video that I was working on. It wasn't like 100% done, but it was like close. We were really getting there. And then the files got corrupted and I was heartbroken because it was such a good video too. And I mean, I was just really devastated about that. So now that I finally have a little bit more time free from other projects to focus on making some extra YouTube videos for the channel, I should mention that I have a huge YouTube video coming. It's going to be most likely my next YouTube video that I post, and I am so excited for you guys to see it. It's been so long in the making, and oh man, you'll just have to wait and see. I can't spoil anything. But hopefully that video should be out within a couple of weeks. But that aside, let's talk about the 5 things that I hate about driving for Uber. Okay, the first thing that I don't like about driving for Uber is that you aren't really in control. You see, Uber loves to promote this idea that you can be your own boss and schedule all your own hours and do whatever you want in the world of Uber driving. And to an extent, I guess that's true, but any Uber driver will tell you that if you want to actually make decent money, that philosophy doesn't apply. And when I say not really in control, I don't just mean like the whole you have to work Uber's hours that Uber wants you to work that are the busiest hours and you have to play Uber's game. I also really mean that you are not in control. What's that? Something goes wrong with a ride and somebody gives you a 1-star rating? Oh well, good luck going through customer support with people that just don't understand a word you're saying and are reading off of a script. Oh, what's that? A reservation that you were already assigned to and were literally driving to, and then Uber just removes it from your app without any explanation? Oh well, sucks to suck. Maybe you should have been there faster. I don't know. What's that? You got deactivated after being an Uber driver for 10+ years? Oh man, that's really rough. Hope Lyft wants you. And some of the core values as to that first thing that I hate about driving for Uber also pour into the second thing that I hate about driving for Uber, which is Uber's customer support. It is garbage. Now look, I don't want to slight any of the people who are actually working through Uber customer support, regardless of where they come from, but if you aren't at least an Uber Gold, Platinum driver, Uber customer support is actually insufferable to deal with. And like I said, 95% of the time with a lot of these Uber customer support agents, you're just gonna get copied and pasted answers, either because they don't understand what you're saying, don't understand English at all, or just don't care, which in all of those scenarios doesn't fix your actual problem. And trying to argue with these people is like talking to a wall, and trying to contact anyone who speaks English as a first language is basically impossible from what I understand. The only exception in this case that I can think of is Uber Diamond, and that's literally only because I don't know if it gets any better with Uber Diamond. And if you're an Uber Diamond driver or have been an Uber Diamond driver, comment down below. Does it get any better at that final level? Do you finally get the customer support that's actually could, justify getting to Uber Diamond? Okay, the third thing that I dislike, and I say dislike more than hate, but I don't really love it, is that the Uber community, in terms of like the Uber drivers, it's something, man. If you Googled the word pessimism, any Uber videos comment section would show up, or just any Uber drivers Facebook group would show up, because Jesus Christ, these people have absolutely no reason to be driving for Uber and are just doing it anyways. Like, for example, my last video on the rideshare guy, by the way, I do videos on the rideshare guy as well, so go check this out up there or down there. My last video on the rideshare guy was just a couple of things about what you should be using whilst driving your car, like things that you should keep in your car whilst you're driving for Uber. And Despite the fact that it had almost no relation, there was like at least 5 or 6 comments from people just being like, I hate Uber, it's terrible, it ruined my life, my kids don't love me anymore, my wife divorced me, never drive for Uber. Okay, but can we relax a little bit? Because my only thought with all of these comments is, then why are you driving? And if you're not driving and you're just being like, oh, I used to drive for Uber and it sucked, man, so I'm never gonna do it again. And that's like the only comment you make on every single like Uber related video. Do you have anything better to do with your time? Like, I get you all want to be Uber's biggest hater and that's got to be a fucking competition, holy hell. But you guys really got to get personalities. Maybe Lyft will give that to you, I don't know. Okay, the fourth thing that I hate about being an Uber driver is Uber Pro, or more specifically, Uber Pro's tiers being locked by acceptance rate. Now, this is a minor complaint in comparison to the other things I'm listed in the last thing I'm going to list. And admittedly, in some markets, acceptance rate isn't actually an issue, but it is in my market, and that's the market I know, so that's the market I'm going to talk about. And it's such a bummer because there are so many quality things that you can get within Uber Pro, and people are not incentivized to actually try because taking $4 rides all day, going 15 minutes out of their city or their zone or their spot, people just don't want to do those rides. But if you're doing the 200 acceptance rate, like cycle rate, the 200 rides, then that means you can only decline 30 rides within the last 200. I wish that it was worth it for me to take 170 rides out of the last 200 all of the time. It's not in my current market, at least. And this kind of ties into my fifth and final thing that I dislike and hate about driving for Uber. And this is kind of just an overall complaint, which is that all of these things only seem to be getting worse. Uber's promotions are down countrywide, like the Surge, Boost Plus, consecutive trips, quests, like just completely down across the nation. In my market, they're just all non-existent at this point. Features are being upgraded. What I mean is that they're being taken away. For example, the $1 per ride EV bonus to like the $200 per ride bonus, or sorry, the $200 per month bonus, where you have to take like 200 rides for $210 extra a month. Rides are getting more expensive for consumers and passengers, whilst the fares are getting lower and lower and lower for drivers. When you have all of these factors going against you, it really makes you feel helpless, and like the company that you have done thousands of rides for isn't even on your side. So as you can all see, I am able to be very critical of Uber when the criticism is warranted. And this video is a much deeper highlight as to what I would say some of the biggest red flags are for aspiring Uber drivers. And whilst I agree that the long term for Uber looks bleak, you also have to cherish some of the quality of life that Uber provides for a lot of people. It's not often you can find a job with as much flexibility as Uber, and even though the pay and fares are substantially down across the nation, we have to acknowledge Uber for what it is, a side hustle. It was never really designed to be the full kit and caboodle, and whilst it can be if you're in a good enough market and smart with your schedule, sometimes you have to take these criticisms at face value for the product you're receiving. But at the end of the day, that's just my 2 cents. And you know what? I'm actually curious, guys. Let me know in the comments down below, what are your biggest criticisms of Uber and what things do you hate about driving for Uber? Again, let me know in the comments down below. And as well, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe. At the time of me recording this video, we are just like 500 subscribers away from 20,000 subscribers. So if we did hit 20,000 subscribers, I'll update it on the screen, of course. And either way, thank you guys so much. I'm so unbelievably appreciative, despite the fact that I've been very slow on making more videos for the YouTube channel. And speaking of previous YouTube videos, my last YouTube video covered being an Uber Pro driver and what the 90-day experience of getting to Uber Pro was like. So if you guys want to see that video, check it out over there. But anyways, guys, that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching, and stay cool.